So guys, it's time now. Let's take a look at what, in my opinion, are the best Nintendo Switch games releasing for this week. Now, we have about 12 games to look at. Many indie games for this week. A couple of bigger releases, but honestly, I thought there were more big releases than when I actually went through the list for this week. The good news, however, it gives us time to take a look at a few indie games that normally I might have not been able to highlight in a busier week. As usual, we are going in chronological order, okay? And obviously, if any of the trailers get muted, it is simply for copyright reasons. So if you're watching this in after the video is published and a trailer gets copyrighted, I could mute the music in it. So all you need to do is go to the link below if you want the music, and you can watch it after you watch the video. So let's get started. Now, since we're a little bit late on the podcast, we have a couple of releases to look at for November 12th. Actually, we have one release to look at for November 12th that we missed. The game came out yesterday. Normally, I would have been talking about it yesterday, and that is Tetris Forever. One of the longest running gaming franchises, a gaming franchise that is amazing to play for people of all ages, Tetris, and we're getting a new entry. Well, let's read through the little blurb really quickly before I go into the details of the sales price and all that. But play through the ages in Tetris Forever, this brand new collection from Digital Eclipse. Atari 50, The Making of Karateka, Lamasoft, The Jeff Miner Story, lets you experience Tetris in a whole new way. So these are the other games they released, by the way. Atari 50, I thought they were talking about what's in the collection, but no, this is the other games they released. This lets you experience Tetris in a whole new way. Drop Tetraminos through different decades in Tetris history. Coming soon. So coming soon meant November 12th, and the game sells for $34.99 on the Nintendo Switch eShop. If you like Tetris, I think this is going to be a great collection. I do, however, think that the previous Tetris game we got, which I have a little blank now, is maybe the best overall Tetris game you can pick up on the eShop. But if you never get enough of Tetris, this is definitely a collection to take a look at. Let's take a look at the trailer. Tetris Effect. Thank you so much, Frenchy Mom. This is more your classic Tetrises. So someone who wants to live back through the classics. Honestly, I love that monochromatic style. Also, this is a really well constructed trailer. I like this trailer because often in these collections they do a really bad job of highlighting the different Tetris games. I find they did a pretty good job in this trailer, so hats off to them for that. But definitely this is a collection for classic Tetris fans or someone who's never tried Tetris and wants to start from the beginning. Yeah, honestly, I think that Tetris is one of those gaming series that is universally recognized and underrated at the same time. Very few series this can actually happen to, but I think that Tetris is underrated because people forget how fun it is till you jump back into it. And the proof of that is that I myself had sort of put Tetris aside for quite a few years, saying I'm beyond Tetris now. Tetris. It's one of those classic games that I played the heck out of, and it's boring today. Till my wife discovered it, I would say last year, and honestly, for about 2 months straight, we would do daily Tetris matches. Now, it was on Tetris Puyo Puyo, okay, that we were playing, but basically, nonetheless, it remains Tetris at its heart. And we would never play the Puyo Puyo version. We'd always play the Tetris version of the game. And Tetris 99 as well. And that's why I say the game is underrated at the same time. If you haven't played it in years, go on. If you have a Nintendo Switch Online membership, go online, try it out again. You will be surprised how fun Tetris is and how quickly you can get back into it if you challenge yourself. And Tetris 99 is actually also an excellent way to get back into it. So Tetris Forever, released yesterday, $34.99. It's maybe a little expensive for a collection of old Tetris games, but I'm pretty sure we'll see an eShop deal pretty soon. So if $34 is a little, $35 is a little bit much to spend on it, you can always wait for a sale. Okay. Now we jump right away to November 14th, with probably one of the biggest releases of this week, which is Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, which, by the way, will be packaged with remakes of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, although 3 is going to be like the main game. Okay, if you've played the original Dragon Quest games, you already know that 1 and 2 are very simple games. They're amazing games, but they're very simple retro games, which is and not much of a storyline there, which is why the focus is on Dragon Quest 3, because I would say that Dragon Quest 3 is where Dragon Quest became a real RPG. Like, it's always been a real RPG, but you know what I mean? Like, with actually a storyline and characters that evolve through the storyline, it happened in Dragon Quest 3, which is why they're focusing the remake on that one, because it's really the first one. Lucian Kefka says, I found and bought a complete set of Heart Gold Soul Silver for $15 in a garage sale today. I'm literally the happiest man alive. That is an amazing pickup, dude. Wow. Like, it's crazy because it's harder and harder to find deals like that, just because everyone now knows what's worth money and what's not worth money. And Topaz is being freaking crazy. Except I bought a really awesome game at GameStop last week that I was looking for a while for a physical version, and I picked it up. I'll show you guys later. It's not necessarily a great game. It's just a game that skyrocketed in price lately. So yeah, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Now this is going to be a $60 game, so it's $59.99. It's releasing on November 14th, so that will be tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's Wednesday? No, sorry, that will be Thursday, November, because it's true. We're past midnight. That's why I see the 13th. So this will be on Thursday that it's releasing. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Long have we waited. So long have we waited for
Topaz,
this day.
you're blocking the screen. Girl, you're blocking the screen. Sorry, guys, I couldn't hit the full screen button because Topaz was blocking it. Yeah, there is some censorship stuff. I'll talk briefly about it. I don't want to spend like an hour on it. I'll talk briefly about the censorship stuff. Am I happy about it? No. But is it going to stop me from playing the game? The answer is no as well.
You know that to stand against mighty Barabas is to throw away your life. And yet you still came.
Yeah, the music is amazing.
Surely one such as you will be able to deliver us from the menace of the Archfiend.
You must gather the orbs and take them to the shrine of the Everbird.
Use my blades to bring peace to the world. to tell. I won't make you suffer much.
The time of departure is upon us.
I'm worried that the music is gonna get
Venture
me
forth and
freaking
do what must be done.
copyrighted here. There's a very strong possibility,
Listen well, child.
but it's
of
too good. I
Ortega.
can't mute
The
it.
light will
I'll mute it
return.
maybe in post.
Of that I am sure.
Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Available November 14th.
Now it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna come with a remake of the first two Dragon Quests. I don't know why they didn't talk about it in the trailer here, but it's supposed to come with a remake of the first two Dragon Quests for people who pick up the physical version. I'm not sure if the digital comes with it as well. I'm assuming it does, but I know it's supposed to come. It's called the Erdrick trilogy because that is the hero you play in the game, Erdrick, in the first three games. But ultimately, I was just gonna mention concerning the censorship stuff. Basically, Akira Toriyama did the designs of the original characters, and a lot of the cleavage and stuff has been reduced. It's not insane, but like the female warrior armor and stuff was like just like a few breastplates and stuff over sensitive areas. They've basically added like undershirts and stuff like that. I don't agree with modifying classic artwork like that. The excuse that the developer is giving is so that they can hit the lower age requirements in different areas like North America. So, you know, the whole rating system so that they can sell the game to younger kids. The one thing that I sort of like, and I said that when they originally announced it, that doesn't make sense, is how many kids do you think are going to be playing the remake of Dragon Quest III? The main audience for this game are people that are most likely in their late 20s to early 40s, okay? That grew up playing the original games. Having this hit a, like, G rating, it's not G, but it's an E for everyone rating, I'm not sure how many extra sales they think it's going to net them. Because I don't think a 12-year-old is going to be like, Mom, I really want to play Dragon Quest III Remake for Christmas this year. Okay? So I do think it's a bad marketing move because they're alienating their primary focus group to possibly get sales from a group that they're probably not going to get sales from. Okay? And I've talked about this before, and it goes back to that DEI woke stuff, okay? And like I said, I'm in parenthesis once again. It doesn't make sense when it goes against your focus group of the game, okay? They shouldn't be doing those policies when it's not going to net them any extra sales, most likely, to make those choices, and it's going to hurt them with their focused target group. So, but we're not going to talk about any more about it. That is my stance on it. I'm still going to play the game, though, because I'm a huge Dragon Quest fan. Dragon Warrior was a game I played the crap out of on the NES. And, you know, I'm still going to replay the HD 2D remake, okay? Yeah, me too. I'm okay with it. Like, it's not that. It's just the fact that why... You know what I mean? Is doing something for a dumb reason still remains a dumb reason. Even though I can live with it, it still to me remains a dumb reason. So I'm like, why do it? Okay, enough talk about Dragon Quest 3 HD Remake. Like I said, that was November 14th, $59.99. Hope you pre-ordered the game. I did. Gonna go pick it up. But I love the game. I love the series, so hopefully it's going to be nonetheless a very good remake. Next, we have probably my biggest release of the week. I thought it would be Dragon Quest 3, but I'm actually even more excited about this game. We're going to be playing it on stream on Thursday. So once again, on November 14th, we're getting Lego Horizon Adventures. That is going to be selling for $59.99 for the regular edition and $69.99 for the digital deluxe, which gives you a bunch of extra skins for the game, by the way. So if you do pick up the digital deluxe for the extra $10, you get different skins in the game and different characters unlocked, I think. Now, why am I playing this? Because this is one of the first true Sony IPs to make its way to Nintendo. When I'm saying true Sony IPs, I mean, I'm not counting like Crash Bandicoot, which was an Activision IP, okay? But Lego Horizons is a first-party Sony IP that is coming to Nintendo. Have to play this game. Can't wait to play it. By the way, I've never played the original Horizon. I have it. I played like, when I say I've never played it, I played like an hour of it because I haven't had time to play the whole game. But I'm actually going to be experiencing the storyline for the first time in Lego form. Okay? So it's actually going to be pretty crazy. Let's watch the trailer.
Oh, look at those chompers! Okay, trail spots aren't cheap, so let's get started. A hunter with a mysterious past and her very heroic friends are all that stands
love
in
the
the
Lego
way
humor.
of an unspeakable evil. Join them as they explore, hunt, collect wacky outfits, and decorate their village. Nailed it. This is awesome. But wait, there's more. With the digital deluxe edition, you get this exciting blue roller thing. And snazzy costumes.
Yeah, you get like a
the
roller
Shadow
coaster in
Skullborn
costumes.
outfit. And this, I don't know what that
Sax
is.
boy.
That or that. Or why they're climbing in that cannon. But look how much fun they're having. Come and join the party in Mother's Heart. Phew, got it all.
No,
right
I didn't
now.
find out where the
Oh, I forgot
robots
to
came
mention the
from.
pre-order.
Okay, so that is going to be Lego Horizons. To me, it's my biggest release for this week. Super excited for it. I hope it runs well on the Switch. I am a little bit worried. I'm worried, but I'm not worried because Star Wars, the Skywalker saga, actually ran fantastic on the Switch for the Switch. Like, I know it runs better on other systems, but I was surprised of how well it runs on the Switch. So if they can get that game to work, I'm pretty sure that Lego Horizons is going to work pretty well. I'm just really hoping it does. Because if it runs bad on the Switch, I will be super disappointed. But to me, this is the biggest release of the week. Can't wait to play it. We're going to be playing it on stream. And by the way, big news, we are going to have a stream on Thursday because I'm working Friday night, but we are going to have a late stream on Friday night. And I'll be telling you why, because we're going to be looking at the game we're going to be playing on Friday night a little bit in a few minutes when we get to it. But for those of you who are a fan of my streams, we are getting a double stream for gaming this week, Thursday and Friday. Although I do will warn you, it's going to be a later and shorter stream on Friday. It's going to be around 10 p.m. Eastern on Friday, and it's going to be probably a stream that's going to be 1 to 1.5 hour. Okay. Let's look at our next game coming out also on November 12th, which is called Petit Island, which seems to be a game of French origin. Now, this is more a wholesome game for this week. A cozy game, I would say. It interested me. Is it on top of my list? No, but I liked what I saw in the trailer, so I do want to look at it with you guys. This is coming out on November 14th. It's going to have a sale price of $29.99. It's currently on sale on pre-release for $26.99. And I can only see, I'm going to say right away, the price point is going to be my biggest sticking point for this one, because $30 does feel a little bit expensive, however, for what we're going to see. I think this game would do much better around $20. It looks like almost like a Pokemon Snap / Toem type concept. If you played Toem, the indie game. And I mean, the main character's a cat. How could I not show you guys this game? It's Topaz's top choice for this week, by the way. Topaz, you want to come see your game? No? You're good? She wanted to get pet for like 2-3 minutes. So this is Petit Island. Like I said, it looks like a cozy adventure. Yes, it did remind me a lot of Little Gator. I was going to mention it, Frenchy Mom, but you beat me to it. I loved Little Gator, by the way. It was a cozy, fun adventure with a lot of heart. This one sort of reminds me of that. I just would have liked them to maybe go a little bit more into details into the, like, what exactly, is it quest based? Is it just open world and there's really just like adventuring without any quests? Or is there like a little storyline that you're going to follow and develop? I would have liked to go into a little bit of details. Like I said, my biggest issue though is the $30 price point. I don't want to say the game isn't worth it. It's just a very tough price point to sell right now with all the other games coming out that are competing for your attention and your money. And to me, this feels like a game that would have been a much better sell at $20. Like at $20, it would have been much easier to suggest this game like to everyone. But I haven't played the game, so I don't want to, I give my opinion about the price points, but obviously, till you play the game, you can't really know if it's going to be really worth it or not. But I've seen enough Switch games at this point where I know what, in my opinion, should be the targeted price point for each game. Okay, next, still on November 14th, and you'll see November 14th is a big day. It has like 90% of today's releases. We have Little Big Adventure, Twinsen's Quest, which is also going to be selling for $29.99. Now, this is supposed to be the remake of another game, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know the original game. But what I saw did interest me, so we're going to take a look at it nonetheless. If someone in the chat knows the original Twinsen, like Little Big Adventure, Twinsen's Quest, you can shout out if the original game was pretty good or not. Let's take a look at the trailer in the meantime.
Tu es tombé dans mon piège. C'était trop facile.
It's in French.
Vous êtes
Darn.
naïf.
Twinsen, ils t'ont laissé partir.
Non, je me suis évadé.
Cache-toi, vite.
Suivez-nous.
Luna! Vite, il faut que je retourne à la maison.
Okay, I'll translate this for you guys. Let's start it over and I'll translate you what's happening.
Peggy 7.
Tu es tombé dans mon piège.
You fell into my trap.
C'était trop facile.
It was way too easy.
Que vous êtes naïf.
You are so naive. Here she says, Twinsen, they let you go?
Ils t'ont laissé partir.
Non, je me suis évadé.
No, I managed to break out. We're gonna get a direct English to French translation.
Suivez-nous.
Hide, quick. Follow us.
Luna! Vite, il faut que je retourne à la maison. Sur l'île de la Citadelle.
Quick, I've got to go back home on the island of the Citadel. I think the dialogue's over now.
Je me nomme Twinsen. Ça te dit quelque chose?
My name is Twinsen. Do you recognize that name?
J'y crois pas. Tu es parti de Citadelle finalement. On va retrouver Luna.
On va retrouver le quoi? Hold on. I'm not sure what she said.
Fun Frock!
No,
Où est ma sœur?
Dude.
On va retrouver Luna.
Okay. You're gone from Citadel. We're gonna find Luna.
Fun Frock! Où est ma sœur?
Funfrock, where's my sister? There we go. It looks like a fun action-adventure game. Like I said, I would have loved to know the original game. Honestly, guys, I could have found the English trailer. I just thought it was way funnier if I would just translate the trailer line by line for you guys. I'm like, you know what? Let's for once use my English to French skills on stream. Well, like I did a sort when my family. By the way, I fixed the sound delay. After I watched the stream where we tasted the chocolate during my birthday stream, and I realized there was a sound delay. And that's actually one of the other reasons I was super pissed yesterday, because it took me a while to figure out why there's a sound delay with that camera. And it took me about an hour and a half to figure out how to fix it. But I was super annoyed because when I watched the stream back, I'm like, holy crap, there's like a half-second sound delay. But yeah. So action-adventure game. It looks super interesting. I actually really dig the art style. I dig like this kind of art style here like this. I'm just wondering, once again, $30 is a pretty high price point for an indie game that I'm not 100% sold on. So I do want to warn, maybe wait for a review on this one. Maybe wait for a sale. But it definitely is something that caught my eye for this week. Okay. Next, we have also on November 14th, we have Deserted. Now, this game is going to be selling for $25.99. And it is once again another one of those games that it caught my eye, but it can go either way. Okay? The sound delay, it's just that camera has a delay in translating the audio. So I have to manually input a delay into the microphone when I'm using that camera. And I just had to figure out, it's actually super easy, but I didn't know how easy it was to actually input a manual sound delay. And it's just I had to find the right sound delay to input into OBS so that the voice overlaps on the camera properly. Like, you can't get the camera to go faster, so you got to delay the sound to fix it. Perfect. So let's jump into Deserted for November 14th. And I'll talk about why I'm like, game looks interesting, but sort of on the fence.
Signal lock. Scanning. 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 Warning, warning, gravitational anomaly. Scanning. Stationary.
Now it looks like a sort of like almost like a Souls-like combat system, but with like a top-down perspective, an isometric viewpoint. Now these are the sections that really attracted me. At first, when I was seeing that basic gameplay, I was like, what? But then we have these awesome like speeder bike sections. However, the gameplay does look a bit stiff, okay? That's maybe what's worrying me about the game being fun, is that the gameplay looks a bit stiff. That can work, but it can also be a problem. Yeah, we didn't cover Quidditch Cup because I don't know. I didn't even check if the game was actually good, but definitely not a game that caught my eye. Oh, it's a 5-minute trailer. This is long as heck. I didn't realize it was this long when I was watching it yesterday. I was like, holy crap, was it this long? We'll watch it. We're like, We're committed now. We're like more than halfway there. Like, parts of the visuals I actually love. Others I'm very unsure about. Actually, I'll tell you right now, I find that the least interesting part of the whole visual design is the design of your main character. And that sort of annoys me. Like, the world and the enemies look like they're way more interesting visually than the main character. And that sort of annoys me a bit. You know what I mean? Like, why did they give him, like, a gray jumpsuit? Well, that's why it reminds me of Souls-like. It seems voluntarily stiff, forcing you to like move by dodging and using like a dash mechanic and stuff like that. Like I said, that can work for a game, but it can also hurt a game. But I don't know if you guys agree with me. The least interesting visual design of everything we're seeing here is the main character. Like, the world, the enemies, everything looks awesome, except the main character. And look, there's co-op play here. There's 2 of them. So like I said, I'm really on the fence about this one. As I am for pretty much every game, because till you try them, you can't know if the game is good just by looking at a trailer. But, like, some games you really have a much better feeling. You know, you're like, ooh, this one I'm like, you know, 90% sure it's going to be decent. Oh, this one I'm like, you know, 20% sure it's going to be not, like, the opposite, like 90% sure it's going to be awful. This one I'm like, It has me very interested. Grovel, we know Marvel versus Capcom will be good. Yes, Grovel, we know it will be good. I finally I've decided I won't be playing it, Grovel. You know, it's been out for too long. People are going to be too good online, and it's just not going to be worth it anymore. So finally, like, I'm going to pick up the physical version, but we're just not going to play it on stream. You know, I don't think it's worth it at this point anymore. So, okay, so that was Deserted. Well, we're not going to play the story mode either. I can't keep a straight face. I can't keep lying. Growl probably already knows I'm lying either way. But that was Deserted. So I do think it's one to keep a definite eye on. I'm hoping some reviews come out. I wish I had time to review it. I know I don't, because like I said, I'm already behind on a lot of content, and I will catch it up. Like, I'm determined to catch it up. So I know I won't have time to try it for this week, and you guys will know why in a little bit, because I have some things coming up. Next, we are moving on to the Irem Collection Volume 2. Now, I'll be honest, Volume 1 I wasn't super interested in, but this Volume 2 has me very interested, except for the price once again. So Irem Collection, by the way, is a collection of classic games that from Irem, and basically these are generally most of them are run and gun shooters or shoot 'em ups. And the only thing is, this one is also coming out on November 14th, and it is going to be selling for $34.99. Now, it's a collection of 3 retro games, and that is, to me, it is too expensive. We'll look, and it's too bad, because the retro games actually look really awesome. But $35 right now in the current landscape feels like too much. And this is a recurring theme for this week. If you look, Petit Island, $29.99. Little Big Adventure, $29.99. Deserted Island, $25.99. Irem Collection, $34.99. Like, dude, all these games are hurting. Like, I feel they're all about $10 too much to be successful given the landscape. Where people aren't going to take a dive on an unknown game when it's $26. You know what I know? You know what I mean? And nothing against the developers. I know development costs are big. I know they might need to sell the games at this price just to break a profit. It's just that if people don't actually try the games, it's not going to work. And at these price points, I'm just scared many people won't want to drop the cash to try these games. But let's take a look at Irem Collection Volume 2, $34.99 on November 14th as well. And this is Volume 2, sorry. So we have Air Duel, which is a shoot 'em up that looks honestly amazing. We have Gun Force, which is like a run and gun, almost Metal Slug style shooter. I love the fact that you use different vehicles, like a tank and a motorcycle. And we have Gun Force 2, which seems like an evolved version of the other game. Looks even crazier. I love the visuals. And there we have it. So like I said, yeah, same feeling here. 30, like it looks like awesome games, but it looks like they're just too expensive. They look fun, but definitely one of those collections that I think you should wait for a good sale on it. I think sales on video games will actually fall this year. Yeah, well, I think Black Friday is going to be a big push for the Switch games this year. I think a lot of Switch games are going to hit a good low this year. We're getting into Black Friday season, so I'm also going to have to kick up the eShop deals, which is why I'm saying that right now I want to get the reviews that I've done out of the way, and I do want to reserve, however, like the next couple of weeks to covering all the Black Friday sales, as well as the leftover sales that are on sale right now. We have some really other great games on sale right now. So tomorrow I'm shifting right into that gear and trying to also get finally at least Nico de Rico out there and a couple of other little indie games that I played, like Speedo Llama and whatnot. Like I have like 5 or 6 games that I played through now that I need to do reviews on. Okay. Next, we have also on November 14th, a Bullet Runner. Now, this visually and conceptually, I loved. Now, I'm wondering if the execution is going to deliver. But the good news is here is that it is slightly cheaper than the other games this week at $18.99. It is called Bullet Runner. It is releasing on November 14th as well. And basically, they describe it as Bullet Runner is what Doom Eternal would be if Bethesda would be into twin stick shooters. So that description automatically there had me extremely intrigued. Now let's see what their vision of is Doom Eternal if Bethesda made basically twin stick shooters.
They locked me in the cell, and they're gonna pay for it. We're gonna need big fucking guns.
We're gonna need big effing guns, guys.
They won't give up that easily. So, let's show these fuckers who they're dealing with.
Let's just say there's M-rated language here. Like, it reminds me of Enter the Gungeon as well. Like, the basic gameplay style. Like, honestly, and that's probably, like, rather than Doom Eternal meets Bethesda, I would actually say it feels like if the developers of Enter the Gungeon did Doom Eternal style.
Wait a minute.
You know what I mean?
Why are you still here? Get the fuck out of here.
So basically, a Bullet Runner has me extremely intrigued for this week. If the gameplay is solid, this can be an extremely fun twin stick shooter. And like I said, Enter the Gungeon is one of my favorite like indie dungeon runners. It looks super funny, exactly. However, that's exactly where I was getting to Wild One. Even though it's cheaper at $18.99, it still feels expensive at that price. And I know game prices are supposed to be going up as time goes on because things are getting more expensive. But still, when you compare to other games that are out there in the same styles that are cheaper, it's hard to suggest these. In the sense of like, would I recommend buying this over Enter the Gungeon? Very hard without playing this game because I know that Enter the Gungeon is a fantastic game. And it often goes on sale for around $5. Okay. Bullet Runner. So that is our 8th game for today. So we have 4 games left. Now our next game is going to be getting a special mention. The reason why is because this is the game we are going to be playing on Friday night. Now I do want to tell you guys, first of all, tonight is not sponsored, but it will be a sponsored stream. So that's why the stream is happening on Friday night. I'm actually getting sponsored to play this game for about an hour. I'm saying an hour to an hour and a half. But it is an arcade style game. It reminds me a lot of Snow Bros. Okay? The visual style is very different and the gameplay, but when you actually play the game, it reminded me a lot of Snow Bros. Okay? For the moment, it is also a game that I've actually quite enjoyed in the arcade style with a nice modern twist. Sponsored by KFC and Kaleido Games. It is also a first release for a solo developer, which is the kind of game that I love to support. And I know you're going to say, oh, of course you're supporting it. It's a sponsored stream. But trust me, I probably wouldn't take a sponsored stream on a game that I would find garbage unless it was like like something where I could use the money to like reinvest some stuff into the channel. But obviously, I said I wanted to do a little more sponsored content. This stuff went forward on the channel so that we can actually get to doing bigger and better things. And this will be a start to that. Hopefully, I'll be getting more of these generally, and at the same time, it gives me a reason to put time into showing an awesome game off for everyone. So let's take a look at the trailer. No, hold on, that's my graphics card being a biatch. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, there we go. It caught up. What I love about it, there's also a ton of unlockable characters and stuff. Like you'll see, you have a couple of characters to start with, but you have a lot of unlockable ones. And the gameplay, like I said, resembles a lot Snow Bros. You basically turn enemies into weapons and then you try to like roll them down the stage. Boss fights are pretty fun as well. And this one's going to be selling for $14.99. So it's releasing on November 14th as well. I forgot to say the price. November 14th, and it is selling for $14.99. So we have Slam and Roll. Now, like I said, we are going to be talking way more about this game on Friday. I do invite you all to check out this stream on Friday if you're watching this game and you have some interest. Trust me, it is something that is worth it if you're into retro arcade style games. So Slam and Roll, $14.99, November 14th. Let's move on. We have 3 more games to go for today. Next, we also have on November 14th, Rage of the Dragons Neo, which is the port of a Neo Geo fighter, if I'm not mistaken. I'm unfamiliar once again with the source material. It happens sometimes. It's happened lately a decent amount. We're getting into retro games now that I have not played myself. But this is supposed to be the port of a retro fighter, and visually the game looks extremely interesting. Once again, the same problem as a lot of games for this week. It is $26.99, which feels expensive for the port of an old retro fighter. But let's take a look, because visually there's a lot going on here, and you guys can let me know what you think. Like the fighting really reminds me of Street Fighter Alpha. Like if I'm looking at the visuals and the way the gameplay plays out, reminds me a lot of Street Fighter Alpha. Or Street Fighter 3 maybe. Maybe 3 or third style, like 3 third strike. But no, I would say more Alpha. Alpha 2, Alpha 3. So like I said, if you're into fighting games, it seems extremely interesting. It seems like one of those games that could definitely be worth checking out. But at the same time, like I said, I do find it a little hard to suggest at a $26.99 price point, since it's the port of a Neo Geo game. But you know what? We could get to be surprised. Exactly, $15 to $20. I said it. Everything feels like about $10 off where I would have put them if I was in charge of marketing these games. Okay, next. Our last game for November 14th and our before last game for this week, we have Mindcop that is coming out on November 14th. Now, this is a narrative-driven game, and I often don't suggest narrative-driven games in these upcoming games because it's very hard to know ahead of time if a narrative-driven game is going to be good, simply because it all depends on the narrative. And there's no way to know from a trailer if the narrative's going to be good or not. So I try to stay away from them. However, Mindcop has such an original premise to it and such an awesome visual style that I wanted to show it to all of you because I think it's one to keep on the radar for this week. Now, once again, Mindcop is going to be selling for $18.99, and it releases on November 14th. Let's take a look at Mindcop. It has that awesome cartoony style to it, and you'll see there's some mini games that seem really interesting. It's a detective game, so you need to find killers and stuff. So you interrogate suspects. But this is the special part, is that you have mind powers, and the mind powers play out as mini games inside the other person's mind. And that's the part that really intrigued
me. Well, I had a crazy dream. Do you want to hear?
Not really, no.
It was pretty crazy, Linda.
And the song was just insane.
Now back to our topic of humans killing other humans.
What? That wasn't our topic.
Yeah, it's like that funky, weird-ass game that just sort of like could deliver an awesome storyline and some really fun times. I hate when it does the autoplay stuff. So, Mindcop, I think if you're into the narrative gameplay and you want to take a chance for this week, this is the chance to take. I have this feeling that this is going to turn out to be a decent. $18.99. It is a bit expensive though, but I feel like this one might actually be worth it. At least it's under 20. You know what I mean? It's under 20. The visual style seems high quality. And if those mini games deliver, it could be something extremely interesting. Okay. And now our last game for this week. I actually have a review code for the next game on the list. I'm going to try to play enough of it to get at least a first impressions video on it. It is Goblin Slayer, Another Adventure, Nightmare Feast. Now, number one, they could work on titles, okay? Personally, by the way, I'm not familiar with the Goblin Slayer anime. Now, the character looks like the same. I know what the character looks from Goblin Slayer, and the character in this does look like the character from the Goblin Slayer anime visually, but I don't know if there's an actual direct link with the Goblin Slayer anime. Okay, so if anyone does know if there's a link, once again, you can share it in the chat. But this is a strategy RPG. I just want to say they should work on titles because Goblin Slayer, Another Adventurer, Nightmare Feast is a mouthful and a terrible title for a game. Okay? It's dark. Don't watch it with your kids. Okay, I won't. But you can maybe, once you watch the trailer, Jumping Bear, tell me if it seems to be pulling like from the anime or not. This one will be releasing, however, on November 15th. And it is an expensive game. It is selling for $39.99. But it seems like a full-fledged strategy RPG. So it seems like those, like, a AA game. You know what I mean? In between an indie and a AAA, you've got like a AA or you've got a triple I. But this seems like one of those. Like it feels very Disgaea-ish, Final Fantasy Tactics Ogre-ish. Like this character comes. This is the character when I think of Goblin Slayer and I think of what I've seen visually. Like this guy looks like what I've seen from like promo images of the anime.
Goblin を殺す。そしてより時を稼ぐ。ゴブリンスレイ。そう言わなかったか。
And obviously it's been changed from October 25th, so the release date isn't good in the trailer. It is releasing this week on November 15th. So there we have it. The 12 games for this week releasing on the Nintendo Switch that I think we should take a look at. Like I said, Goblin Slayer, I do have a review code, so I will be able to get a first impressions video out there. I pre-ordered this game because they announced it would have English, but when it released, they said it would update to add English at a later. Oh, I haven't started it up, so I don't know if it has English. I could check it out. I'm embargoed, so I can't show you guys, but I could definitely start it up and take a look if there's English in the game for the moment. But definitely, if you're into strategy RPGs, visually, the game looks like it has everything it needs to be very successful. I just can't promise that the mechanics are going to deliver or the storyline's going to deliver. But it seems very interesting, and I imagine if you're a fan of the anime, it's going to be hitting even harder. I'm going to be playing it from the perspective of someone who's not really familiar with the anime. I watch a lot of anime, I just never really got to Goblin Slayer. So that is it for the Switch games, like I said, for this week. The 12 games to watch out for this week. Like I said, I do think there's a little bit of a pricing issue for this week on a lot of the games where we're taking a risk on an unknown IP and the games are priced at a price point where it's hard to recommend to take a chance. But most likely a few reviews are going to come out. And either way, there's also most likely going to be a sale on a lot of these games coming up pretty soon because we're hitting Black Friday season. So I wouldn't even be surprised to see some of these games in a couple of weeks hitting like, maybe not like 50% off like the games that have been out for a while, but maybe we'd see like a 15-20% off some of these games. But yeah, so those were the games for this week. So I hope you found something that you enjoyed in these Nintendo Switch games. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.